All right. Well, basically what happens is you see alcohol, you see cigarettes, and when you go to buy these things, if you're of age, then you'll also see these little warnings around them. It could be sirens, in fact, who knows? And if you're underage, definitely sirens. And you see them and you're like, well, it's terrible, but I'm addicted, so, oh well, I guess I gotta buy it. But there are warnings, and these warnings have been shown to decrease maybe new users or returning users, right? It even has helped some anecdotally to stop. But there's another danger out there that people are talking about that could be also addictive and detrimental to the development of children especially. And that's social media. And so people have been calling for warning labels, certain types, or at least warnings of some type, to be put on social media websites and applications, et cetera, to kind of warn both parents, children, and everyone in between of the possible dangers of social media, both in addiction and in mental development for children and, let me argue, most adults. I think physically our brains have developed, correct? But mental pathways can be remade and made stronger. And making intelligent ones stronger instead of brain rot ones stronger is always the goal. I digress. People have been asking the US Surgeon General Vivek Murthy to do something about it. They're like, hey, come on, we've done this with alcohol, we've done this with cigarettes and other various products. Why not social media? And the Surgeon General was like, yeah, maybe, but we just don't have enough evidence yet for this. We don't know everything yet, so I can't really do anything about it until we have the facts to back it up. And it seems like those facts will happen someday, just not now. And so now people are just saying, well, if we can't have it officially done, let's at least have the awareness spread. And they're trying to just tell people about the dangers of overuse of social media, by the way, mostly with children, underage individuals. Yeah, so that's basically it. Some of the negative impacts can be, of course, body image, negative body image of oneself, high levels of anxiety or stress, dopamine hits, similar to that of what the article says, gambling, which can cause people to try to go back and back and back instead of knowing the healthy time limit for it. That being said, have you ever felt any sort of anxiety, stress, or that type of dopamine hit from your social media use?
Definitely. I think one of the reasons I deleted the Twitter app or X app from my phone is because, I think there were so many rude comments, so much meanness, so much negative energy, even on positive sort of Twitter feeds, that it really got me riled up. And I realized, but it wasn't immediately obvious to me. I think there was just this sort of underlying not anxiety, more like sort of just tension or stress or
pure rage and anger.
Rage and anger, And I found myself snapping at people, and I'm like, what's going on? And I really do feel the benefit since deleting Twitter. I've never looked back. It was having an effect on me, for sure.
Oh, it's terrible. I had to do similar something with a Facebook group that was about Korea. I was like, oh, Korea Facebook group, we can all get together. Everything was just complaining, all about Korea, expats in general, Korean people, bordering on racism and stuff. I was like, what is this, guys? Like, come on. So I got out of it. It was making me angry.
Good call.
Now, let's say you become the Surgeon General. You got your stamp of, this is needs a warning label. That's the stamp name. This needs a warning label. Would you stamp social media? Why or why not?
I have to kind of agree with Mr. Murthy on this one, that if you're going to ban something, you need a scientific reason, right? And I know it sucks that we have to wait because, it literally hasn't been long enough for us that we've had social media to study the full effects of it. But it was the same with smoking. I think they couldn't ban it until they had the scientific data to prove. And I know, of course, the tobacco companies, they were doing all they can to get around that and disprove it and try and avoid this warning label. But eventually they got there. They had overwhelming data to prove it, and they had to put the warning label on. So I think, if we're going to stick with the scientific method, he is a doctor, he's the Surgeon General, so I think he's got a point. We can't just stamp warnings on things because they might cause a problem in our brains or to our health. We've got to stick to the facts and collect the data.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good way of summarizing it. And another good thing is that vocabulary, wherever it may be, please go ahead and study it and really do use it in your everyday English, because if you use it, you're going to remember it. If you remember it, you're going to make your English stronger every day. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
Surgeon General.
Surgeon General.
Mirror.
Mirror.
Validation.
Validation.
Ailment.
Ailment.